on this episode of the People of Pearland Podcast.
Is that a Josh?
No. It's a German word.
Oh, okay.
It
I'm not
literally
German,
means
so I don't know.
joy at the misery, like taking joy in other people's pain and suffering.
No, I'm not some terrible person.
I didn't say like. There's not a little bit of like.
You in here trying to commit me in this padded room.
Like,
but no.
like, stay tuned for more.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Good.
Ready?
No, we're not ready.
We are.
We're
so ready. All right.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody. All tens of you out there.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm
okay.
joking. Welcome, everybody, to the next episode
The next episode
of the People of Pearland
of
Podcast
the People of Pearland.
Ooh.
with Melinda Thomas.
Oh, I thought you forgot my last name.
No.
Okay.
No, I was going to ask for your middle name, but I decided that was a
No,
bad idea.
no,
I know.
no.
That's why I stopped myself.
Okay, yes.
I have bad ideas, and then sometimes the filter catches them. Welcome
Thank you.
on the podcast. We are so happy you joined us. Just for everybody in the listening world, Melinda is so nervous right now.
I don't know if it's nerves. I think I'm just unsure of what's about to happen.
The unexpected.
What? Yeah.
I'm in this room.
Do you have a fear of
it's
the
padded
unknown?
walls.
Well, half
there
of
are
it's
no
padded.
windows.
The other half's
I
because
think
it's
the
the middle of
door's
the
locked.
building. It's
You
But
know?
Jasmine's here.
oh, and we didn't even
Am I
turn the
being
on-air light on.
committed? I don't know.
But there's nice lighting. It's there's like an ambient sound, like the comfort sound for Texans, the air conditioner running. You know, it's like
Yeah.
Yes, that is
you
comfortable.
can. Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually a big problem. So this is our studio. The room she's describing is a studio. It's not like a murder chamber or anything.
It's close to a murder chamber.
I
So I've
mean,
heard.
you know.
Yeah.
Now I will say, so we started when we started with this room, it was just blank walls, and they were like, "This is your studio," and so we started one direction, and we're like, we started with this padding, this foam sound absorption stuff on all four walls, and it was so quiet in here. And if you got too close to the walls, there was like this sound deprivation, and I don't know, maybe I'm just sensitive, but like it made me almost dizzy.
Yeah.
And then you can't really shoot video on a wall like that, and so we had facilities do the cedar. These are fence pickets, and we had them installed so we can just put a wash of color up there, and then shoot video in front of that. So
only half of the room is to commit people. Just the side with the padded
yeah.
walls.
Right.
Okay,
So
I
you
like
can't hurt
it.
yourself on that side.
I'm on board.
So you're unsure about this because you don't know what to expect.
Yes.
Is
I'm a
that-
planner.
Okay, I was
Yes.
going to ask, is that a normal, you don't like surprises?
I don't like surprises. No.
Okay.
I'm a planner.
Wow.
I
I'm
plan
not.
everything down to the T. Yes.
Okay, give me an example of that.
So
Like-
when I go on vacation with
Uh-huh.
friends or family,
Uh-huh.
I plan the agenda.
Oh, yes. You're
I
that
even
person.
like
pencil
to
in nap time.
Yeah.
Guys, this is when you're going to take a break. If you get tired,
Right.
this is the time block. Not at 5:30.
That's
Because
important.
5:30, we're
That's
going
dinner
to
time.
do
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody
Wow.
knows.
Nice.
And are other people, do they like this or are they annoyed by it?
They appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And so sometimes I allow people to do things on their own, and then they see how rough life is, and
Right,
they
sure.
come back. They come
Sure.
crawling back.
So
Should have had your plan, Melinda.
I will. I'll tell you. I had a group of friends. We liked. we still like. We bird hunt together, and we all like bird hunting. But nobody wants to plan a trip because you have to have like a minimum of 10 people, and you got to collect deposits, and you have to secure the place, and you got to. And so I facilitated it for a number of years, and it is not an easy task.
It's
Like,
not, but it's so much fun.
No, I hated every
Yes.
minute of it.
I
Now my friends are
just-
jerks. So
Oh, well,
sorry,
that makes a
Corey,
big difference.
Kenny, Austin.
Now you have no more
there
friends.
goes all our listeners.
There goes all your friends.
That's it. No, they're good people. They just like,
No,
we're,
you
none
can't
of us.
say that. They're good people. They're just. That means they're not good people.
They
Josh.
are. None of us are planners, and so we're very like seat of our pants.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when we do this.
I can't. I mean, occasionally I may do that, but I've got to plan everything. Like
So
I
you-
just
you get
recently,
joy out of planning.
Yes, I love it.
See, I get joy out of the chaos and surprise.
Same. Yeah. When we travel, there's really no structure.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like, we'll be here this day and there this day, but other
That
than
can stress me out
Yeah.
if I have in mind like, all right, we're going to do something special. Like I need to maximize this time.
Right.
But I try to take joy like in the moment. Like be
You
present.
can have planned joy. Yes,
Ah.
it's very joyful.
But
You
is
should
it
try it sometime.
is it as joyful as like unplanned, like unanticipated joy? Like, okay, so really great example. I can remember this now. One of the times, like one of the hardest I've ever laughed in my entire life. Have you seen any of the Shrek movies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first Shrek movie, I don't know which one it was, that Puss in Boots was in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene where he's like being all tough and he's going to fight, and then he gets a hairball stuck and he starts like coughing up a hairball right in the middle of his little. Are you familiar with the scene
I think
at all?
so.
Yeah,
I
right.
think so. Yes.
It was so unexpected, and the first time I saw that, like I laughed. I had to pause the movie. I was laughing so hard, like I couldn't breathe. Like tears are streaming out of my face, and I was like collapsing on the couch. And I think my wife was with me, and she's like, "What is wrong with you right now? Like, I just can't. I can't. Like, it just caught me by such surprise that it was nothing but unbridled joy. from it.
And those moments are so special when they happen.
But you don't have them if you plan everything.
They happen, and that's what makes them so special. But for the things that I can control and
Okay.
plan for, I do. Like I just in January. So my family is from Trinidad and Tobago, and so I try to make it a point to go frequently. And so I wanted to plan a trip with my siblings. I have some siblings that are out there. And I have a couple sisters here. And so one sister was going to go. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to plan. Let's do all this. She wanted to do it on her own, guys. This is supposed to be a special trip.
Yeah.
How
Do you
did
know
that
what
turn out to her?
happened? She got stuck in Panama for 2 days of the trip.
My
What?
gosh.
Yes. And I was like,
Did she?
Told you.
Was she? Did she just turn it into like a little mini vacay, or it was just
Well,
like?
she was very upset because this happened around the freeze. So in January,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
I was like, you should really change your flight. You should do all of these things. And she was like, no, this is going to be great.
Oh man.
And
Joke's on
I'm
her.
in this huge villa in Tobago with one of my sisters. And we're just waiting on the other sister. And then she's like, I got stuck in Houston because of the ice. It's
gosh.
like,
Did you? Was there any? Is there ever any Schadenfreude for you?
what the heck is that?
Joy at the misery of others.
Oh, no.
Okay, so you felt bad for her that she was.
I felt bad
You've
for
never
a
heard that phrase?
second. No, I've never heard that.
Schadenfreude?
No.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Is that a Josh?
No. It's a German word.
Okay.
It
I'm not
literally
German,
means
so I don't know.
joy at the misery, like taking joy in other people's pain and suffering.
No, I'm not some terrible person.
I didn't say like. There's not a
know
little
you
bit
have
of
me in
like
here trying to commit me in this padded room,
like
but no.
like she's stuck there, and you're like, should have listened to me.
I mean, she may have gotten
That's
A little bit of
Schadenfreude.
it, yeah.
a little bit.
There's just a little.
But I wasn't joyful that she was there because we were all going to be together.
Right.
You know, we got this banging house. We just had some things planned, so it was going to be great. And it had been a long time since we were all like together in the same place, so it was going to be like extra special.
Yeah.
And then she got stuck in Houston, delayed. And then she took this flight that was supposed to change in Panama, and she ended up, because of the delay, she ended up getting stuck in Panama. And then so it made me really sad, though, because we had this moment. Again, it had been a very long time since.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know that we had all ever been together. And so it was just extra special.
Well,
So-
I'm just want to say for the record, I'm sorry for your sister for getting stuck in
I
Panama.
mean, she knows better now. So.
And I'm sorry that she didn't listen to you.
Right.
And tried to. I do this all the time. I this is really shocking, I know, but I like to do things my own way.
That's not shocking.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah.
So I got this, and my oldest son is the exact same
Yes.
way,
Yeah.
and it drives me bonkers because like I see it, and I'm like, you please stop, because I
he's
know where
you.
this goes. Yes. And so I'm 41 now, right?
Is that all?
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Oh.
That was a joke. Guys. Joke.
Ouch.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
Thanks
that's
for
it.
joining
Thanks
us
for
on this
tuning in.
episode. Yes, that is all. I do feel older than that. So
Joe's laughing way too hard at that.
That's
I'm
really
writing
good.
a research paper this last year, right? And they gave us a grading rubric, right? Like, hey, do this, and if you do this, then you get a grade on this. You do this part, and like the whole thing. And so I read it, and I'm an adult, and I used a rubric, and then like I worked through my outline, and I did. I wrote the paper, and then I turned it in, and I got a terrible grade. And then I'm like,
you were bent.
I was grumpy because I'm like, how dare they not like the thing that I did?
When they probably gave you clear instructions.
Yes, and I did not follow said instructions. And thank God for my my saint of a wife for pointing out that she was like, she looked at the rubric and looked at my paper, and she's like, well, you didn't do the thing. Like, they wanted the thing, and you didn't do anything.
You didn't do the thing.
And then I had to spend like 4 days rewriting because I didn't do the thing that was asked me in the first place. And fortunately, the second time around, it turned out much better. But
you learned your lesson.
That's right.
Well, no, clearly I didn't, because I'm 41 and I'm still doing the things my 12-year-old's doing.
So we have a saying in Trinidad for that. So it's like they say, whoso don't like so, or two-so don't like so. Like people that are alike, you tend to not appreciate the things that are similar.
Because you see too much.
Because you see too much in yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. And my oldest, I mean, I love him. You know, I feel like I need to clarify that every time.
Yeah, please say that.
I love my kids, but he looks like me. He talks like me. He's as confident as I am, and it scares me to death now. I'm like, I mean, I survived by the skin of my teeth, but you know, I still hold out hope that he'll be at least a slightly better version of me. Hopefully,
he's a good kid.
Yeah. So he is a good kid.
Yeah,
he is. So Trinidad, you're from.
My family's from Trinidad. Yes,
cool.
Trinidad and Tobago.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, being such a planner, we haven't even gotten to what you do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Yeah, that's what.
I actually work for the city of Pearland.
We know
that's
all the.
not who you are, but it's one of the things you do.
Yeah,
right. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I am a training and development coordinator with the Human Resources Office.
Yeah.
So we are a very small shop, I think, for the size of the city, but I get to assist the organizational development manager in making sure that, we're helping the city mitigate risk. We're helping people to grow and develop here at the city so that we can make sure that employees have the best experience that they have here when they're working here. And again, to mitigate risk, to keep the city out of trouble, to keep people out of trouble. So it's an exciting job. It does play on my planning skills because you do have to do a little bit of planning. And then being embedded in the HR office, of course, we work with our HR business partners as they're working with departments to identify issues or gaps. And so as the OD team, we try to figure out what we can do from OD, organizational development.
Okay, gotcha.
We try to figure out what we can do.
I was thinking outside diameter.
Outside. I mean, sometimes it feels like that too. Yeah, outside diameter. Yeah, absolutely.
OD and ID, outside diameter, inside diameter.
There you go.
So we try to figure out how we can fill those gaps. Is training really what needs to happen in some of those instances? And so we come back to the table, and of course there are things that we have to do in terms of compliance and policy. So, sexual harassment, everybody has to do, that. But then we look at other things. So one of the trainings that I was able to create here lately in talking with some of our leaders is we're recognizing that there is a generational gap sometimes between leaders and the people that they're leading, or even you have departments where it's very multi-generational. And so we thought in speaking to some leaders and hearing some of the comments, and even from some of the staff, we decided, this might be something we need to explore. And so we were able to launch a multi-generational training just to keep people better informed and give people a different perspective in terms of how they think about the people that they work, because we're all shaped by, different things. Of course, generational things that happen to us, all these different things that intersect our intersectionality. And so there are so many things that drive the way in which we look at work and in the way that we do things. And so launching that training is just kind of one example where we kind of look for those gaps to see how we can better inform our employees and the people here so that they can have a better experience.
Yeah. I heard on a TED Talk a while back, I think it was TED Talk, doesn't matter, an interesting observation about generations, or an argument that generations should be more based on adaptation of technology rather than a certain age range. Because really a generational shift is when one generation really doesn't understand or benefit from whatever the technology has evolved to. They don't get it, right? And the next generation just picks it up right away, because that's the real communication disconnect between the two, and it does shape a lot of experiences. The president from our communication organization in the state, he went and spoke to a group of master's students at TCU. There were 24 students in the class. 2 of them had Facebook accounts.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that's, I mean, for us, for communications, that's one of the primary forms of communication, right? And I mean, so I can't imagine. Well, one, you know, I can see how training, it does require a lot of thoughtfulness and a lot of preparation. And I think we, at least in our office, from my perspective, we do quite a bit of training. We appreciate how much the city values that, and the fact that they invest in that. But we get to use it a lot too. Like we do public information officer mainly specific training, and I guess unfortunately we have a lot of activation, so it keeps those skills pretty dang sharp. And you look at, I'm talking about emergency situations. The difference between training and no training is painfully evident.
Yes, absolutely.
When you don't have that. And I can't imagine developing a training guideline or you know, teaching people how to work cross-generationally. I mean, that has to be a massive challenge. And an interesting one, I would think, too.
It's interesting to me because I think I'm a learner, just naturally. My background is in higher education. I was a semi-journalist for a minute. And so part of that whole process of designing a training is meeting with like subject matter experts and researching. And so I still get to use all of those skills that I've developed. So it kind of feeds that part of me. But it is sometimes a mass undertaking because you want to make sure that, especially working in local government, you want to make sure that you don't cross certain lines, right? But you still have to give the people what they need so to keep them out of trouble, right? And so it becomes this kind of complex process sometimes to kind of put all of those things together and still come out with a product that is going to be impactful in the way that you want it to.
You know, it's really fascinating about local government. So I don't know. I mean, I know the majority of your professional experience is in higher education. My experience was all in private sector, mostly ad agencies. Joe did a lot of freelance agency work, you know, some higher education.
Yes, a little bit.
But the cross section of government, the variety of services that we provide, the size of our organization, the scrutiny and visibility of everything that we do, the input from elected officials, right, and the connected dot there, and then probably more than any of that, the passion that I see from our employees that are out there doing all the work, right? They're committed to and they're really dedicated to the community and the work that they do. It makes it, I think, a really interesting place to be. I'm fascinated every day that I come here. Sometimes intimidated.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, definitely at times stressed out because there's, because you're right. I mean, there is the, like, well, we need to talk about this, but, you know, like we have to have everything written in this format for ordinances or whatever the case may be. And then, and this is from our perspective, I would imagine your challenge is similar from an internal audience perspective, getting people to pay attention to and care about the right things for the desired outcome.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Especially the policy related things. I mean, a lot of trainings they can be hard to keep people's attention.
True. Not
so
our. You're not talking about our trainings, though. Wait a minute.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But we try to look at ways to make things more engaging. Gamification is something that we try to do to, you know, get people up and moving, to make it more interactive. And then there are just some topics that, you know, it is what it is. It's going to be dry. Nobody wants to talk about it, but we've got to We have to do it,
Right.
right? But in the times where we can make something fun and exciting and engaging, we definitely try to
Sure.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think that there's real value in acknowledging and celebrating the human aspect of work, generally speaking, but especially of local government, right? Because I think of the scrutiny, the public scrutiny, and the pressure, because we're building and maintaining community to be perfect, really, I think hinders our ability in some situations where we could, if we just accepted the fact we are human beings,
Right.
And we are fallible,
Right.
that we'd be a little bit more free to take risks for the right reasons, right? You also do, in addition to training, you do our Tenure Thursday.
I do.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
So, Tenure Thursday is a program that we have here at the city to honor employees that have crossed those milestone marks. So 5 years, 10 years, 15. And so I think the city had stopped doing that for a while, probably due to COVID. And so we brought it back last year, I think, or maybe at the end of 2022. And so it was myself and at that time an HR coordinator, Miss Big Gwen. So we were asked to bring that back. And I was fairly new to the city at that time. And so I thought, this is very weird because I don't know anyone. I don't know who these people are. And so we were given a little history in terms of what the format was like. And so I was kind of thrust into it. But I thought it was exciting, right? Because you get to see people that are, they're really passionate about what they do. They love the work they do. They love where they work. And so I know sometimes as local government, we can't always honor people in the way that they might get honored if they're working in the private sector. And so this is kind of just something small that we can do to make them and help them feel seen and let them know that they're appreciated.
Right.
And so before every Tenure Thursday, we asked everyone to fill out a survey. Sometimes people participate, sometimes they don't. But it's always a great moment for me because I get to read it before we decide what goes into the presentation. And there are some very talented people that we have here at the city. Yeah, they're doing a particular job, but they are multi-talented.
Right.
And so to see some of the things that they do kind of on the side, like, wow, I would have never thought that
that's
this
the
is
coolest
what
part.
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you learn so much about the people that we have working for the city through our Tenure Thursday program.
That's one of the things that I really love about it. And one of our employees, I found out a couple months ago, collects lapel pins. That's
cool.
his hobby. And I was like,
Awesome.
I never would have known that. And that's a fun piece of information.
I also love that it's cross-departmental.
Yeah.
I could see that just being like a departmental thing, acknowledging those people,
Right.
but to bring everybody in the same room to acknowledge the different people around the city, I think it's just another level of insight,
Right,
for
right.
that. It's really cool.
And you say it's a little thing, but I mean, I've heard, and I believe him, Trent, our city manager, he says that's his favorite
Favorite
meeting
thing
of
to
the
do,
month,
Right.
which I 100% believe because it's one of my favorites. I look forward to going to that every time. And I will say, definitely to yours and to Big's cred, y'all have elevated it for sure. You've made it something way more fascinating and fun.
Oh my gosh, we never know what's going to happen until we get in the room.
Oh, it's so fun. Yeah.
But I think, too, I mean, just seeing employees, they'll show up and they'll bring family.
Yes.
Family.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yep.
And so, it may, you can't downplay the importance of it because that's a thing.
Yeah.
But I think you're making important point, right? So people bring their family. And I think sometimes as employers or even sometimes as leaders, you forget how much of a commitment people make.
Yeah.
Yes, they're here for 40 hours or 50 hours a week. But there's also people on the other side of that equation, right? They're taking time away from their families. Somebody else sometimes is picking up the slack. And so sometimes I think we forget that. And so it is always great to see when we're honoring people that they bring in their family, because they're the other side of that equation, right?
Absolutely.
That person is here at the city giving us everything that they have, and sometimes they are missing out on a baseball game or missing out on different aspects of that family life, and so they're part of that ceremony to honor that person, because they've kind of been in the trenches with them, picking up the slack when, you know, they're here giving their all to the city. So I think that's very important.
Absolutely. Well, we certainly appreciate that. I mean, obviously we appreciate everything you do, but that 10-year Thursday, I mean, I wear my 5-year pin with great pride.
That's awesome.
And
I just wing it when I get up there. You know, I kind of read the surveys a little bit. I put some things on the slide, but to be honest, we just wing it when we go in the room.
Fun.
I just try to read the
weird
room.
For you being such a planner.
I know, but for that, because
you
I know,
but
I have to plan. But I think for me, like when we started it again, I was new. I didn't know anybody at the city, and so you just kind of have to go with it. I couldn't get out of I tried to get out of it, but I was, you know, it's like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna take it, and I was like, okay, well, we're just gonna have to make it happen. And I think sometimes that makes for the best moments, right? You want it to be organic and have things just happen. And so I just try to read the room. When we first started, hardly anybody came. It was like pulling teeth to get people to come, and now the room is usually pretty full. So I think that, don't laugh. That's a great thing.
I'm laughing because I'm going back to a particular employee where his department showed up dressed like
as
him.
Yes.
Like you'll get like wild card things like that. And it's just like, that's so fun. Like
to see how it's evolved, I think is a testament to the dedication that the city makes to, you know, honor employees.
Right. Well, and I think that you know, that's such an important part in every business. But especially here, because, I mean, really, we are a people organization. I mean, that's the majority of our budget is to people. Right. Not that we don't build a lot of things as well, but, I mean, it takes people to keep this community running.
Absolutely.
And in this day and age, in this, you know, in a competitive climate like this, you know, where everybody's competing for the same shrinking talent pool, you know, we have to be competitive, and to your point, we don't, you know, have all the shiny bells and whistles of the private sector, but you know, I think that there's and we've talked about this, like doing the why exercise and getting people to think about, you know, when you're here, local government especially, I think you are really making a difference, and I think any one employee can go and pinpoint a thing that their fingerprint is on, you know, because we're closest to the community. Right. And to me, it's cheesy, but like the value of that, just the satisfaction in my mom used to tell me, like, hey, will you sweep the floor? What do I get if I do it? The satisfaction of a job well done, right? That is a genuine thing. Right. It doesn't replace, you know, being able to pay your bills or having health benefits or a retirement plan or things like that. But if you have to work for a lifetime, if you're not independently wealthy,
I'm still working on that part.
Yeah. No. So when I started my career, I don't know how I came up with this. I had this idea, like, I have sort of two modes, right? Like where I am. You know, I have the job that I have, and I can support my family and pay my mortgage and things like that. And like so incredibly rich, I can buy an island, like literally buy an island, you know. And I have nothing, like no prospects. I have no ideas.
Oh my gosh, that's so me.
I don't have anything to get to that point. So I'll do everything on this end, you know, where I am now, because there's no point in trying to chase that. Buy an island rich, because I don't have any. God knows me. He knows that I'm not supposed to be that rich. I would not be good if I had that much money to myself. So, you know, I'm over here on this end where I have my, you know.
God knows me too, but I think I'm going through a test. I can feel the pot of gold somewhere. Yes, there. I can feel it. Yes,
just trying to imagine
it's out there for me.
What a Josh Island would look like.
It would be. I mean, dirt bikes and 4-wheelers. Everywhere.
I can see that. Yeah.
barbecue pit.
That's right. Yeah.
Ice chest of Lone
And I feel like
Star
he
spread out
would
all
charge
over
an
the
exorbitant amount for you to visit
Just to
Josh
come see it.
Island.
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
I think so.
No,
Yeah.
no, for the people, the handful, very short
See?
list. Y'all are on it.
Oh, thanks.
So you didn't
Everybody
say
come
no,
free.
Right.
but
No.
yeah.
Don't come for free. Just hang out. That's all.
Okay. You heard
You know?
it here
Shoot
first.
some skeet
That's
off the
right.
back porch.
It is on record.
Yeah.
On
yeah,
the
yeah.
record.
So you're working on a plan to get rich. What are you gonna do?
I am. Well,
How
I
you gonna get
can't, reveal all my sources, but I'm
okay.
working on a couple things. Yes. I don't know if it's going to make me rich. I don't know about buying an island. I'll just go visit. an
There you go.
island, But yeah.
What do you do? I know you're a planner. I know you like to do training for work. What else do you do? What's the fun Melinda do?
The fun, I don't know that I am a fun Melinda, but
I think you're fun.
I do wood burning. So why are you guys looking at me?
Because I'm not
like
sure
that?
I'm
what.
fascinated. I want to.
Yeah.
Wood burning. So I have
Explain.
like a heat pen.
Oh,
Hot pen,
yeah,
and
where
so
you-
I do like art or something.
Very
I'll
cool.
trace something, so I'll do that and paint it.
Cool.
Making candles.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is a lot harder than you would think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not easy at all.
Making freshies for
Yeah.
your car.
Okay.
Nice.
But wood burning, yes. I play a little piano.
Like a small piano or just like a little bit?
A small piano. I play a small piano for a little bit. There's that dad joke.
There it is.
All right.
I
There
mean,
it
they
is.
make like a ukulele. It's like a small
no.
guitar. There could be a small piano.
That's funny.
I do like to travel when I get the opportunity to. But
Favorite place you've ever been?
I mean, it's always going to be Tobago.
Mhm.
Huh.
I think of the two islands like that is where I find my peace. I could
Yeah.
literally, there's a beach that I go to and I will literally get a chair and there's an almond tree and I could sit out there for hours
Yeah.
and just look at the water and listen to the water.
I grew up going to Galveston, which
That's not the same
That's
thing.
not.
Yeah.
I know. I know it's not. But like, there's this like, there's a soft spot where I'm like,
It's true. Yeah.
and I didn't realize it when I was younger, but I'm much more of like a beach bum than I realized. And years ago now, almost 6 years ago. No, yeah, 6 years ago, we went to Belize. My wife and I did, and I was like, I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to stay.
Yeah. Once you see that
Right
blue
here.
water,
Oh,
you're
my
like,
goodness.
Galveston.
Galveston.
What?
And you
Yeah.
swim with the sharks.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it was everything about that place was just my jam. Like, Caliche Roads, drive a golf cart everywhere, and so. Anyways, I
So that'll be Josh Island.
There you go.
yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
somewhere definitely, right on the equator. I like hot. I like the water to be warm, and like seafood, ceviche and margaritas on the beach. Come on now, come on.
That's the life.
Can't beat it.
That's right.
So what else do you do for fun?
I told you, like, I'm not fun.
You are
Those were pretty fun.
I
Those are
don't
pretty
even
fun.
know
Those
why I'm
were-
here.
because you are a fascinating.
Okay, wait. I do have a question. You say your background was in journalism?
So a little bit for
Okay.
a while, and then mostly higher education.
Okay.
So when I first started out, I did like journalism and stuff like that in high school, headline
Gotcha.
writing and doing some writing. And then like my first job, as I was finishing up college, I worked for a community college. I won't name a name, but I worked for a community college where I was a writer, a public information writer.
Nice.
And so like I was charged with, just finding different stories, highlighting the community college. So I had some things published in like the Houston Chronicle
Oh,
at that
very
time,
cool.
the Baytons,
Ooh.
and I had a little byline.
Yeah,
Come on.
nice,
all right.
nice.
But like one moment for me, as I progressed through my career, I went on and I worked for different universities. I kind of made a switch, decided, journalism, writing wasn't for me. No shade to anybody else, but
Yep.
it wasn't for me. But worked for some different institutions, working through recruitment and admissions. And like that, I guess that bookend moment for me was in my previous employer. I walked into a room of the people that I was going to be supervising, and I saw this lady, and I was like, man, she looks really familiar. And so later on, as I was going through the day, she came back and she's like, do you remember me? And I was like, I was just thinking, you look so familiar. She was like, you wrote this story about me, probably like 18 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I know who you are. And so at that time, when I was working for that community college, when I started, one of the tasks that I had, we wanted to highlight, at that time, non-traditional students. And so she was a non-traditional student. She was going back to school. She already had kids. And so I wrote this story about her. It ended up in, I think, the Baytown Sun and maybe the Houston Chronicle. And at that point, when I was there, I really thought I was going to be a writer. So I had a little portfolio. I used to cut out my articles, all of that. And so I ended up being her supervisor. And so she retired eventually. And so as her going away present, I was like, I think that's one of the articles that I saved. So I went back in my portfolio and sure enough, it was. And so I gave it to her as her retirement gift because I was like, you went back to school. You set this example for your kids. You went on, you got your bachelor's degree. You had this wonderful career. Right. And so I gave that article to her.
That's very cool.
Is so incredibly special.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Wow. Yeah. It's fun.
Okay, so I also heard somewhere, I can't remember who told me, that you did a stint in voice acting?
It wasn't. See, that's how lies get started. It was not a stint. I did a voiceover for this community college that I worked for.
Yeah.
So we were doing commercials, and so they used my voice.
Nice.
And so I was on the local ABC, and I think it ran on CBS or whatever the local stations were. So I did a commercial. I think I probably still have it on a CD or something somewhere. Yeah. So I did that. And that's something that I am trying to get into. I would love to do voiceover.
Really?
Good to know.
I think so. Yeah. So whenever you need me,
I can turn
on this voice.
No. Yeah.
Thank you for calling.
That's really good.
we
People
actually,
of Pearland.
we have a need for that pretty frequently. Actually.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Call me, beat me, if you want to meet me.
Got your pager.
Impossible.
We always kind of like to wrap these up. We talked about this before, but your why.
My why.
I made you do this exercise.
You did
once.
I have to do it again.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, right here on the fly.
Oh my
why
gosh!
on the
okay.
fly.
Brand new why.
Brand new.
It can't be the same one.
Can't be the same word. No, it can be.
Okay.
Yes.
So what? Why do you work? Why City of Pearland? What gets you up every day?
What gets me up every day? That's a good question. It's never going to be the job.
Sure.
I think I've evolved from that. I think work used to be...
You're like a phoenix.
Let the phoenix rise. Eat my dust. But I think one of the things that keeps me coming back here is just the experiences with people. Although I'm very introverted, I enjoy building relationships and learning more about people. I think when you learn about people, you get to understand them better. And then in turn, I can do a better job at what I am tasked with, right?
Wait, so you're introverted?
Yes.
Then what are you doing here?
That's what I asked you.
I'm joking.
Yes.
Yes.
But see, I was on a great tangent there, Josh, and you just...
I had to get the joke in.
Messed it all up. But no, I think the why is just to get to learn more about the people here so that I can help them build the skills that they need in order to help the people out there.
Yeah.
And to make their work impactful. And also, I think in training to help people realize that their work is impactful. I think sometimes people do miss that.
Right.
Yeah.
You come to work, sometimes you're like, hey, this is the job, this is what pays the bill. But I think sometimes just reminding people that the work that you do, regardless of what department you are in, it's impactful. You are impacting people's lives and their way of lives. And so it's important. So I'm helping people to realize, the work that they do is important.
That's huge.
Is that a good why?
Oh,
that's fantastic.
Okay, hang on. Here, they're all good, right? There's no wrong answer.
I heard some whys. I'm like, well, why did you do that? Why? Why?
You got to start somewhere. You got to start. It's a thing you got to think about. But I do think that we have a habit sometimes of head down, push, and it's easy to get wrapped up in or to lose sight of the impact that our individual positions have either on each other or on the community. And I so firmly believe, we are a very lean organization, but there's nowhere where it's just a warm body in a seat.
Right.
Every contribution has an impact to the organization and to the community. I think that, I mean, you nailed it. That's a great purpose, great reason to.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Oh, so that's it.
That's it. All right. I will cut it there.
Cut. No, but seriously, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
I know this took some convincing, but I will just tell you now that you did great.
Fantastic.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh.
That was a whole 40 minutes. Look
Was
at that.
it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god.
See, I told you it was going to be
Okay.
easy. We're still recording though, and all of this is staying in. So,
But shout out to the human resources team.
Yes.
Oh,
We'd like to do
absolutely.
a plug for them. So we talk
Yeah.
about impacting people.
we're a people organization, and you can't spell people without human resources.
That is
That's
so true.
A shirt. That's a shirt right there.
I'm gonna. I actually designed our HR shirt. So
Yeah.
it says you can't spell hero or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Without HR.
HR, that's right.
It's
That's
true.
true.
Love it.
you
It's
can't.
true.
I need to work on that.
It's a multifaceted team. Let me
You
tell
can't
you. Yeah.
spell human resources.
Or you can't spell heart without
heart.
HR. Yeah,
That's what it was,
what
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but hero works too.
Hero works as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, we actually have
Yeah.
a cape up in the HR office. Yes.
HR cape.
An HR cape.
We're gonna need
guys.
pictures of that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna need to try that on.
But it's a fabulous team. I think we have some really talented people on our team.
Absolutely.
And I think that, we're evolving as the field of HR
Mhm.
evolves, right? So it's no
Yeah.
longer just human resources. Like we cover all sorts of things, and we are really here to help employees engage in the work that they're doing, help train them, help protect them, help protect the city. So it's a fun job, fun team.
You're the first person on the show to plug their department, so
That is, yeah, you're right.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Should I take it back or
No,
No.
I
Okay,
like it.
all
I
right.
like it.
We'll,
leave
we'll
in.
edit it.
Kidding, Lorraine. Well, thank you. Yeah, and if you haven't yet and you want to apply for a job with the City of Pearland, HR will take good care of you, and great organization. So nobody's paying me to say that. I just think it's worth saying every once in a while. So.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Team player.
There you go.
Securing my ticket to Josh Island.
That's exactly right.
Might need
We'll
it
all
one
get there
day.
one day.
Right.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.